We're talking about tonguing now, and my experimental subject for this one is Jacob Rigo. Hi, Jacob.
Hi.
How old are you?
10.
10 years old. And how long have you been playing the trumpet?
About a year.
About a year. Oh, great. So you're just really a beginner, huh?
Mm.
Well, what do you know about tonguing? Tell me what you think.
I know you have to put your tongue against your lips.
No, you just made your first mistake. Because if you put your tongue against your lips, you're going to stop the lips from vibrating. And keeping the lips vibrating is what makes the sound. So we can't put our tongue against our lips. Where else would we put it? All right, let me give you a little hint. Can you say T?
T?
Where did the tip of your tongue go?
On your teeth.
Right behind the roof of your mouth, right behind your teeth. Now I'd like you to say T, 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 T. You try it. T, T, T. Now a lot of the method books I've seen tell you to say ta.
Ta.
What happens when I say ta? What happens to my chin when I say ta? Ta.
It goes down?
Right. That's the reason I don't like ta. Because if I move my chin every time I tongue, it's really hard to do it fast. So what we need to do is think just about saying the syllable T. T, 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 T. No movement of the chin. Let's just practice without the trumpet. Sit up straight, take a deep breath. Now, good. Now, well, the other thing I want you to do is as you put that tongue up against the roof of your mouth behind your teeth, push with your diaphragm. You remember this muscle? Right? Mm. And get just a little bit of pressure, air pressure behind your tongue, so you get you're actually pushing the air forward. Good. Try it again. Look right at the camera and do it. Great. Now, you didn't move your chin, did you? All right. There's a tonguing exercise that I've written out that you can print out from your computer now, and let's you, me, and Jacob try this. Now, Jacob, you see that first line of music? Mm. Right? I would like you to play that first line of music and tongue each one of those notes. Okay? About your tempo, about 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good, Jacob. You got the idea already. But did you hear a difference in the way this first tongue sounded and the way the other three did? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first one was like cleaner, wasn't it? All right. What we do when we practice this exercise is trying to get the tongue to sound the same for every note, every time you play. Got it? Now watch me. You tell me what's wrong with the way I do it, if there is anything wrong.
Too long of a rest?
Well, I actually took a rest in between each note because I wanted to make sure that I started each note fresh. Okay? We're going to work later on in the exercise. We'll work about tonguing completely without breathing. But right now I thought it would be better if we made the sound and the tongue just the same for every note in that first bar. Now, would you try and lift your trumpet up a little more for me? We've got to get you lifting weights with your left hand so that you can hold that trumpet up. And then try that first line again. Only this time think really hard about making each one of those tongue attacks sound the same. Okay? Mm-hmm. Give it a shot. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Good. Now stop and take a breath. Okay? I made a little space in between each one so that I could get a breath and start it all again. Because when you start losing your breath, the first thing that happens is you do something wrong with your tongue because you're not supporting the sound. So for this kind of lesson and for this exercise particularly, make sure you've got a full lung of air, and it's okay to breathe whenever you need it. Remember? Okay. Once again, Jacob, don't worry about the time. Just make sure that you've got a full lung of air and that the tongue sounds the same on each of the notes. Give it a shot again. Okay, pretty good. Remember to breathe before you start the exercise. You went, you didn't have any air in your lungs. So go back and get a full breath of air and go. Remember to breathe before each attack, okay? Excellent. You've done this before. You're pretty good at this. Now take a look at the next line. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to play two notes. We're going to tongue two notes before we take a breath. Watch me. You know what you were looking at? What were you looking at?
The notes?
You were looking at the music. I asked you to watch me.
Oh.
Once again, I'll do it quickly. What happens? Tell me if you see anything moving, my chin or my lips or anything. Watch. Did you see anything? Yeah, did they move a little? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. The idea, Jacob, my whole point of making this tonguing exercise is that all we want to do is isolate the movement of the tongue. You want to think about keeping the air going, but all I want to see you do is move the muscle of your tongue. Okay, a lot of people make faces, and sometimes you watch them tongue and the jaw drops. They go, and this is bouncing up and down. And when you start to play fast, you can't do that because there's too much movement to do. So once again, Jacob, play the second line for me. Remember to get a whole big lung full of air before you start. All right, slow them down. See, now that's what we got to practice on. Mm-hmm. Again, when you practice and something like that happens, don't let yourself slide. You have to go back and play the exercise again and make sure that you've got it perfectly before you stop. Okay, slow it down again, Jacob. Give me another shot. Really good, Jacob. Really good. Now you tend to let the air, because you're nervous. I'm a little nervous too, isn't it? Huh? It's kind of tough out here. But you can't let the air fall off when you're playing those notes. If you need to take the time to get more breath, take the time, because we're practicing our tonguing and our breathing right now. And that's what's important, not the metronome. Okay? Let's go look at the next line. They're all quarter notes. All right? Do what I do, Jacob. I should explain something. I'm a bigger guy than you are. And that means that my lungs are bigger. So if I can play that whole line in one breath, it's because I've been playing the trumpet a long time and a little bigger than you. You play what you can comfortably cover in one breath. And then stop and take a breath and start all over again in the middle of the line. That's okay. All right? Mm-hmm. Try it for me. Aha. Pretty good. I also saw these cheeks puffing out a little. Each time you went, it looks like these went out. You know, try to move, keep your lips concentrated toward the mouthpiece, and this a little tight. Don't let that be blown out, because that's something you'll have to fix later. Okay, go ahead. Excellent. Really good. Play the rest of the line. Go ahead. You know what happened? You forgot to think about your cheeks, and they were bouncing back and forth every time you tongued. Okay? Think you can think about everything now? Okay, go ahead. Really good. Breathe and keep going. All right, let's do that one over again and make sure you get that tongue as crisp as it was a little lower. Excellent work. Excellent work. Now let's move down a little farther and take a look. Do you see the third line from the bottom? Those are eighth notes, and it's a G and a C. Now I want to see what you do with those. You don't have to play them fast, okay? Just tongue every one of them. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's very good. You didn't move your embouchure much, but this, you got to practice with the mirror so you stop that cheek from flapping around. And that's because we have to work on the embouchure with you a little. You'll got to check out the embouchure lesson on this DVD when we give you your copy. Okay? Everything is going along fine. Now that's, you know what kind of tonguing that's called?
No.
That's called single tonguing because you just do it once, don't you? And there are lots of kinds of single tonguing. There's that one we've been playing where the note, you start the note with a nice attack and it lasts. That's called a legato tongue sometimes, or marcato. There's lots of it, lots of different ways to phrase this. Now there's a staccato tongue. That means short. And it sounds like this. Why don't you try some staccato tongue? You don't have to play them that fast, just play them short. Even shorter, all the same length and short. Okay, very good. Remember to think about isolating the movement of the tongue, right? We're practicing tonguing here, so we have to think about moving only the tongue. There's a short one called a staccato. There are the longer ones, the legato tongues. And there's something that I'll talk to Jacob about and to you. There's a double tongue and a triple tongue, and these are really fun. I used to practice these when I was your age, walking home from school, and I was very lonely. Nobody wanted to walk with me because I was always practicing my tonguing, and they thought it was funny. Can you say tuku?
Tuku.
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 And you go fast. You go tuku 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 tuku. Can you do that?
Tuku 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 tuku.
Ah, right. You walk home doing that, and you go tuku 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 tuku, and people will avoid you forever, but you'll learn how to double tongue. Then there's a triple tongue, which is even more fun. You got to think about these things as fun and problems and not difficulty. Try to say That's a hard one, isn't it? You practice that slowly, practice that when you walk, and eventually, I'm not very good at these. I hate to admit, I didn't practice my tonguing as much as I should have. But a double tongue will sound like this. And the triple tongue sounds. Fun to be able to do that, huh? And the real good guys, I'm not a really good tonguer, I have to admit, but the ones that can really do it will scare you. They really know how to play this. So you have to practice with a mirror to make sure that you're only moving the tongue. You have to remember to breathe through everything. You have to remember to keep the lips concentrated toward the mouthpiece, and you have to remember to practice effectively. Don't make mistakes and accept them. If you hear a mistake, you got to fix it. If you don't like what you hear, why would you want to play the trumpet? Huh? Only make the notes you like. All right, that's our tonguing lesson. Thank you very much, Jacob. You're a great guy.
Thanks.